there is news. It's about Fred Warner. I've been saying all offseason, like, man, he really shouldn't step foot on a field without a new deal. Is this going to happen before OTAs? Well, no. Doesn't seem like he's going to be getting a new deal before OTAs. Why do you think this is going? What's the holdup? What do you guys think? Jack, go ahead.
I don't know why. It's odd to me. You look at their salary cap number. They have about $17 million in cap space still at this point. That's only their top 51 though. But even when you start adding in beyond that, they should still have about 15. So it seems like they should have enough to be able to get a deal done with him, backloaded like they've been doing in the past with some of these other guys to get signed. So it doesn't really make sense to me what's taking so long here.
We think,
yeah,
Rob?
I agree, Jack. I'm pretty confused by the report that came out that we're not even in talks. I understand not necessarily finalizing it, and we can get into the reasons for that in a bit. But I'm confused at the fact that we haven't opened up the dialogue. And my hope is that, much like many other moves that the 49ers make, we're just not hearing about it, but something has, in fact, happened behind the scenes. Because it would be a colossal mistake. It's the leader of your defense. It's a heady guy, top of his position. To not sign him long term, I think would send the wrong message to the locker room.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you bring up, Rob. Like, why haven't they even talked about it? Maybe they have, but the reports is that they haven't, and you're thinking they're not going to trade him like they traded DeForest Buckner. I don't think they will, but until they start negotiating, it makes you wonder. I read it a different way, though. It's like I keep comparing it to last year's situation with George Kittle. George Kittle wanted that sucker done. He did not want to have a lame duck year. He had every reason to get the money as soon as possible because he was going to be the highest paid tight end. There was no one competing with him on the free agent market. And he did become the highest paid tight end when he signed the deal. Warner's different. I think Warner, it might be in his interest to wait. Everyone knows that Darius Leonard's also a free agent. Well, not a free agent, but also in line for an extension. And whoever gets the extension first will probably end up getting a little less money than the other one. So maybe it's in Fred Warner's inch. Maybe Fred Warner hasn't approached the 49ers. Maybe he really isn't interested in talking until Darius Leonard signs a deal. Does that sound like a possibility? You're running a risk of getting hurt in the meantime.
That does make sense. The second, because you're gonna. If I'm Fred Warner, I'm an All-Pro. Darius Leonard's an All-Pro as well, so they're both All-Pro guys, and they're trying to get the same money as the All-Pro linebacker in Seattle. So I can understand maybe wanting to, feeling like I'm going to hold out a little bit longer, and I'm going to let this guy kind of reset the market, and then I'm going to go above that because I'm better than him.
I think so.
Maybe that's what his thinking is.
I mean, if you were his agent, wouldn't you be saying, "Hey, there are some reasons to slow play this"?
I certainly would. I think when you look at it from Fred's perspective, that makes a lot of sense. And quite honestly, I hadn't really given it that type of thought. I was viewing it from the 49ers organization's perspective. And in that case, I think you want to get in there, get the deal done, and be the ones that reset the market first, because you're obviously going to have to beat that with the second deal that gets done here. But if I'm Fred Warner's agent, I certainly do want to be the second person to get the deal done so that we can then one-up Darius Leonard's contract and become the highest paid linebacker once again. It also could be, from the 49ers organization standpoint, if they have any inkling that Darius Leonard's contract will not reset the bar too high, it's entirely possible that they view that contract as setting a more appropriate bar to then judge Fred's contract by, if Fred's agent is coming in at an unhealthy number to begin with.
Yeah. So that's going to be very interesting. I was thinking that there would be some pressure from Fred Warner. Did you hear that? Was there echo?
No, it didn't come through on my end.
Sorry about that. I was thinking there'd be pressure from Fred Warner to get this done like there was from Kittle. Maybe he's like, you know what? Let's take our time on this one. Let's, you know what, Niners, I can play for a cheap rate the next year. Let's talk about this whenever Darius Leonard finishes signing his name to his extension.